Hello and welcome back everyone. This is Angela again here on this lovely Sunday morning, and I'm very keen to bring you a couple of mix and match video today. So there have been a few questions that I've had from people, and I wanted to cover those and show you how to do some of those things, as well as a little share that I know that many of you will be very excited about. I'm going to start with the share first of all. Now, I think a lot of you know of Hilda. Hilda is my admin lady, and she does a lot for me on the Facebook group side of things with memberships and posts. It is a busy job, so I'm very grateful to have Hilda to help me with that. Now, I've had a lot of questions about people asking about die cuts and if I was able to do that, or where they could get them. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to share that with you today. But there is a lady who is Hilda in our group that currently does do them, so I thought I'd share that with you quickly. All right, so Hilda does a fab job. She does all sorts of die cuts. They're perfectly cut out with beautiful colors and a wide selection. She has an Instagram account called paperfun422. Look at the description box below, and also just my banner here so you can see how you spell that, and you can contact Hilda with any of these queries if you're interested. Now, these tags are examples of the colors that she does. Now, these are just a selection of the colors that she does for the lovely lilacs papers that she has. So they're printed cardstock or whatever, but lots of variety and nice substantial thickness as well. So that's what she uses these for, to show you her variety of shades. She does them in a different way. So for example, if you're wanting the hollyhocks, which is a great one, and you're wanting lots of different pinks like I do, then she prints out a whole lot of those for you. Now, these go on weight, so she'll show you some of the packs and the options and the colors and the shapes, etc. on her Instagram, so you can contact her there. But I just wanted to share that with you. You might want a selection of a certain pack. So for example, the artsy stems, which is one I like to use, and I'm sure there's one here. So for example, the artsy stems, she cuts those out in the colors, lots of different options, lots of different blues. She does a mixture of just one color, pink, and a load of different ones there, which is also a great option. She's got one particular stem from the artsy stems, and then she's done them in a number of lilacs. You get about 15 to 20 pieces in a pack. I'm just showing you what I have left. These are skeleton leaves, so if you're wanting those in a certain thing, go and have a look there as well. So that's Hilda for the die cuts. For those of you who don't have a die cut machine or can't be bothered with die cutting, because it is a frustrating process sometimes for people. All right, so I wanted to just share that with you. Now, today I also wanted to go over how to detach a cover from its writing block in the middle here. So we're going to do that. That's the next thing I want to share with you. So I've got one of my books here. This is a Wildflower book I like to use. This is by Octopus. It's a beautiful cover, isn't it? And a lovely linen cover, a nice size spine. This is a great book, and what I want to do is I got it at a shop that was selling used or slightly damaged books. So I have got this here, and there were a few loose-ish pages. I haven't cut out of it yet, but I will do, because it does have beautiful flowers in here and they are lovely. So I'm going to show you quickly how to go about removing this block from the actual cover without ruining the cover. All right, now what you need to do first of all is I would suggest you get a crafting knife. I like to use my Stanley knife, so that's what I'm going to use here. We're going to start by removing the block. So what you need to do is you need to put it on, face it upright like this. Let's just move that a bit back, and you need to open these two covers like that. Now you can see this has got a floating spine. It's got this little bit here which will just flop out, I think. Yeah, it's an old book, so it's not attached anymore. That just pulls out, but we can just take that out. Let's just remove that. Yeah, there you go. All right. So now you can very clearly see that you've got the block with all the pages, and we've got the covers here. All right, now if you have a look closely, you'll see that there's a gap there on each side, and all you need to do is to take your knife, hold this away. Let me do it so I can show you properly. And we want to go with our knife into that gap very carefully and slowly, and move it down. Now, this is a sharp implement. Be careful of your fingers, and safety first, please. So hold that away, and then just put it into the gap there that I mentioned, and very carefully just slide it all the way down. All right. And you don't want to put your blade out too far, because you don't want to nick anything that might be getting in the way there. But by pulling these covers back like this, you're sure to do a good job. And it's just slowly but surely move your blade all the way down. All right, so there you can see we've got it loose on that side, and now the other side will be even easier, because I can see the light shining through. I don't know if you guys can, but with it like that, so I can see exactly where I need to cut, and I'm just going to do that. And there is some old paper, this, but that's all right. Okay, put your blade closed. There's our block. So that's the whole block. You can see all the individual signatures which they've bound together there. All right, I'll show you that in a second. And now you've got your whole cover unscathed, ready to use to make a journal. Now I would leave this gauzy bit in here. It is keeping these two strengthened. You are now able to go and put either fabric and your own signatures into this. All right, so that's how you remove a cover from a book. All right, now you can go and trim this all down and whatever, but a large part of that will be covered anyway. And these are in great condition, so this is a gorgeous book to use. All right, so that's what we do there. So that's the first thing. Now, the other question I often get is, how do I remove the pages from a book? So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Now, as I mentioned to you, you've got a number of signatures there. You can see them at the back, each one of those. When you want to find the page that you are wanting. So, for example, you think, okay, let's see here. I quite fancy this flower here. What you need to do is you need to go to the nearest sewn signature. So you can see here you've got these stitches in here. Now I'm sure there's a fancy tool, and I think someone did mention it to me, but I'm a fan of using what I have, as you know. So my best tip is, most of us have a pair of nail scissors, quite like these because they're slightly curved, and all you need is this to do what I'm going to do. Now you want to push the page down there so that you're lifting these strings up, and as you do that you just want to get your one blade underneath and snip. So just push down like that, and there you go. Now you wanted this flower over here. You ever so slightly just close the page and gently just release it from the book. All right, and it will happen. There we go. So I'm not pulling it, I'm just gently removing it. If you've got a string that hasn't quite cut, so I see there's one here, just double check, and it's going to come away, and you can remove as many as you need to. So there's the page you wanted. You're not ripping the pages now. All that you're doing are it's coming through those holes. All right, so that's how you do that. And wherever you want one of these flowers to come out, you can just say, oh, that's a beautiful one. Go to the nearest point where you see the stitching for that, which I think is the next page. All right, and do the same thing again. Now, if you don't have a pair of nail scissors, the other thing you can use is your pokey tool. Again, press it down, put that underneath, and then just take your normal craft scissors which don't have bits stuck on them, and then you're just lifting the strings up with your pokey tool. All right, so that fits underneath really easily, and you can do the same thing. So we all have a pokey tool because we bind our own signatures. So some really easy methods there, and again, that's just going to pop out really easily. Okay, just give it a little wiggle. There you go. Right, so that's what you do with a book. Now for me, you've seen me, I don't like to cut off, especially the Edith Holden, I don't like to cut off too much of the page, and I like to fold and use the excess to make a tuck spot or a pocket or something like that. All right, so this is going to go back in here for the moment. And I want to get on to our next little project. All right, so we're going through all sorts today. But I'm sure that you are going to enjoy some of these little tips. Right, so today I thought I would share with you how to make a journal tassel or dangle. So all those fluffy bits that you put on the back of the journal, and I thought I'd make one for the Wildflower Journal. So what you need to do is gather a pile of things. These can be random things. So I've got the eyelash trim that I've got here, and I'm using the colors for my Wildflower Journal, and I've measured about 17 inches because that's going to be double the length of my journal itself. So I've really gone double that length there. All right, so decide how long. If your spine is 9 inches, you want 18 inches, there or thereabouts. All right, so things like sari ribbon. So I'm going to use a piece of that. Now I'm going to try and keep it and layer it up as we go along. I've also got the most amazing Avril yarn, well, Nesso yarn, I think it's called, Avril yarn, can't remember, Avril yarn. So this has got all sorts of bits of tulle. It's really lovely. I got this from Nesso Studios, but you can get it from lots of different places. So for example, I've got it that looks like this. All right, and then each piece has quite a number of strands. So you've got about 5 or 6 strands, and I love the texture of that. So that's from Nesso Studios. I'll put the link in the description box. So I'm sort of layering up my colors here to go. I've got this piece from Plum Boutique, which is like a peach shade, and I've got some more of my Nesso yarn, and I'll keep that over there. I found a little bit of narrow trim also from Plum Boutique, so I thought that was quite good. And you can use lace, so I've gone through all the lace that I have. Here's a nice green piece. I've put another bit of that. Here's some of the green Avril yarn, so we'll put the green on that side, and sort of just carry on some eyelash trim just from a ball of that. So you just mix and match what you have, and you can make as little or as thick as or thin as you like. This is just a standard piece of ribbon, so it's like a peach shade, and I've got some other cream trim, so I'm just adding all that up as well. I've got some more of the peachy pinks for the Nesso Avril yarn. I'll get it right in a minute. And then I got another piece of sari that I thought I would add this side. And here's a very thin piece of tatty stuff that I had, and I thought, well, that's the right color, we'll add that. So we're adding that as well. And then I did something, and I'll need to put this on here as well, don't I? No, we won't put it next to that one. We'll put it in the middle. Okay, so you've sort of got your layers going here. Then what I did was I had some beads, and all I did was I took some of my binding thread, and I've just made a knot, added a bead, made another knot, added another bead and another bead, and I went on like that. So you've got a couple of beads on here. So as I said, this is just a really simple example of how to do this. So I've just intermittently added beads. You can do this or you don't have to. I just wanted to add some interest, so I've added that. You can add old jewelry pieces, pieces of necklace, pearls, whatever you have. All right, so I've got all of this together now, and what I want to do is you want to grab some kind of a ring. So I've got this one that opens. This is a Tim Holtz one, but you can use anything that you can find, or even just a solid ring, that would work, but you do need to open it. Now what you want to do is you want to get this in half like that. All right, so it's going to have a nice fluffy tail. So you want to find the halfway mark all the way down. So let's just make sure. We can always trim it if we need to. Right, so we've got the halfway mark there, and you want to thread your ring through. So let's just open it up, thread that all the way through, and then you can close that. All right, and then you want to keep the opening towards the top. So that's a good spot, right, like that. And now you just want to hold that nice and tight, and you want to put another little piece of something around there. So we've got our piece here, we've got this bit over here, and you want to keep that pretty firm, and then you want to just make sure that you are able to tie this tight. So this can be tricky, especially when you need another pair of hands. So I'd get it round here first of all, where you need it to be. We need to do it just below, just about a ½ inch below the ring here. All right, so before I pull that tight, I want to just give that a nice little pull again, and then give that a nice firm pull, and then make a knot there. All right, and I think doing it with the eyelash trim is a good one, because it's really tough, but it's also not going to show the knot very obviously. Right, and then that can then just go into your tassel. So let's just trim that off there. Now if you want to have an even tassel, you can always just take your scissors and trim off whatever you feel you want to trim off. There's not much that I really want to trim off. I want to just make sure where that bead is, and then I think I'm just going to give the last little bits there a little trim, and I'll probably keep those for a cluster because I'm sad. All right, so you've got all these beautiful bits ready now to go into your, on the back of your journal. And how pretty is that, with all those different colors and textures and bits, and really pretty. Now all you need to do now is, you've got the opening here, and then what I've got is, I managed to get these, which are for lanyards, but this is perfect for what I want. I'm going to just put that, oops, on the bottom here. I got these off Amazon, so I will add them to my favorites list, and then you could just close that, and I would move this around a little bit, and there you go. So just move that around, and then you've got that ready to attach to your journal. So I will end up putting an eyelet on the back of my journal, but oh gosh, I really like that. So you've got all sorts in here, and it's really going to look beautiful with those colors from our Wildflower Journal. Look at that. Yeah, so yeah, once we've made the eyelet and covered our cover, we just attach it to our journal like that. All right, so there we go. That's another quick little project for today. So we're picking them up fast and furiously. Guys, that's all I have for today. I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I've got an exciting part 2 to share with you that I've made for a little insert for the Wildflower Journal. So do come and join me again on Tuesday. And I have another exciting video which I'm going to go work on now and finalize so that I've got an even nicer one for you on Friday. All right, have a great week. I know we're going to be having that really hot weather again, so stay hydrated, stay safe, and if you're cold, wrap up cozily and have a nice cup of hot cocoa. There's nothing better than that in winter. And I'll see you guys all very soon. All right, don't forget I've got a sale on in my shop and my website. It's www.angelakerrdesigns.com, and there's still one running on my Etsy shop as well. So be sure to pick up a deal. All right, I have some new things coming again very soon. Stay well, look after yourselves, and goodbye. Hello, Abs, what you doing? What do you see? Are you being a good girl? Your chicken chew far more interesting. Did we say the right word? Chicken?